It's been reported today by Mitch Cleary that Billy Frampton has done some sort of calf injury. My boy Billy. We don't know the extent of it yet, but let's talk about it. So you would have seen my training video that went up today. So it's a Monday, and it was a very light training session. And I said that everything looked right from where I was sitting. Everything looked good, and I shit you not, right? I am being absolutely genuine when I say, in my head, when I was watching that training, I was like, oh, it looks like Billy Frampton's not out there. But I'm like, oh, but I can't really see because I was pretty far away. I wasn't going to go up to the boundary. I'm like, oh, it just could be my eyes playing tricks on me. He's probably out there. Everyone looks like they're out there except for the guy. That's who I really couldn't see. And you like Ash Johnson, Reef, and all those players, right? And then it comes out that Billy Franson actually wasn't out there, so my eyes didn't deceive me, even though I think I'm going old, getting old. So my eyes didn't deceive me, and it's Mitch Cleary saying that he's done his calf. Now we're not going to know the full extent until Collingwood release their injury report. I dare say, they're going to be super cautious, like they always are with injuries, and he won't play against the Eagles. Even if he is cleared, and it's just like or a whatever it may be, I'd probably still give him the week off. The benefit of playing the Eagles this weekend is that they are not overly tall anymore, right? So Waterman's not there, Oscar Allen isn't there, so we can play a shorter defensive line. We do bring Braden Maynard back, who can play on those medium tall forwards anyway. Do you remember when Braden Maynard? I'm pretty sure. No, he did. He played on. He lined up against Buddy Franklin, not only at Sydney. Did he line up on him? No, he wouldn't have been at Hawthorn when he lined up on him. But he has lined up on Franklin a couple of times. So we know Maynard can play that role, and it helps that we can bring Maynard straight into this team. Now, what I am concerned for, calves, they can sort of be anything, right? And again, we don't know the prognosis. We don't know what's going on. Probably a couple of weeks if they're going to be super extra cautious. And what that means is that we're going to play one tall defender down now. We didn't opt to go for another tall defender in the mid-season draft, and I fully understand that. We've got Reef coming back from his ACL injury. Billy Frampton, what he's been able to do for the defense, right? He was licking his lips, chomping at the bit to get that opportunity, and he has come in like a house on fire. He's ranked elite in defenders at the moment for spoils. He's having about 6.5 spoils a game, so on average, obviously. It's his best season player ratings wise, disposal wise, his score involvement wise as well. His ratings at the moment are through the roof for where he has been at these last few years, and not just at Collingwood, just with Adelaide and Port Adelaide as well. The one thing I've loved about Billy's game this year is that he's really cleaned up his disposals. Yes, he's having more disposals a game, which is still only about, on average, is about 10 disposals, but he's going at around 87% disposal efficiency. So he's getting cleaner, he's getting smarter with the ball, and like I keep saying, that see ball, punch ball mentality that he has now is second to none. And what that's doing, it's allowing Darcy Moore to finally play his game where he's flying in and Jeremy Howe's flying in. Because remember, when Nathan Murphy went down, we were kind of in no man's land. We're trying Charlie Dean, we're trying all these sort of other players. And Billy Frampton just really wasn't doing it as well last year as well. But he has just come from the clouds this year. So anything longer than a 3-week injury will definitely hinder us for a while, especially when we start going against these teams that have big key forwards. Like, even though I know Carlton are a little bit of a rebel, but they've still got Kerno, and that's who Billy Frampton is usually playing on. So you're hoping that he's ready in a couple of weeks. If he's not ready though, who can come in to replace him? Now, like I said, we didn't opt for a tall defender in the mid-season draft, but we do have a couple of interesting players that could potentially play not that role of the big Billy Frampton role, but a similar role at more of a third sort of defender, right? The guy that comes to mind first up is Charlie Dean. Has absolutely been just smashing it in the VFL. There was a game the other day where he took like 13 marks in the backline. It's his best season for the club, VFL wise. So we know, he debuted early last year. He played 3 or 4 games in a row, and then we dropped him. But what he's been able to do in the VFL, him and Sam Glover have been going hand in hand, and he's kept us in it and won us a lot of games just from his intercept marking ability. and his use of the ball as well. So he could be one of those guys that come in as that sort of Nathan Murphy type, because we're not going to have a Billy Frampton type now. We're not going to have a genuine big fullback now. It will have to be a third, or a guy that's going to run and jump and intercept like Jeremy Howe, etc. Another guy could be Jacob Ryan, who has also been killing it in the VFL. How I would see Jacob Ryan coming into this team, though, is I would put Braden Maynard as that mid to tall defender, as that, not as a third defender, but as that defender, and then Jacob Ryan off the half back line. Yes, he can take a mark, but Jacob Ryan is more of that run out of defense type of defender, as opposed to a Charlie Dean sort of defender. Another guy, if you really wanted to, is Joel Cochran. Now, he's one of the new kids. We could see all of our kids from last year's draft debut this year if they wanted to. You could have Joel Cochran debut, who plays a lot like Charlie Dean. I think he's taller. He's taller than Jeremy Howe, that's for sure. But I love just how this kid plays, and I love his work ethic. I've talked to his dad a bunch of times as well. Good family, but I just think that he could be that guy. Now, you got to think that this is a kid that went to Sydney's academy. Sydney opted not to match the bid for him, and he fell to, or not fell to us, but we grabbed him. We put the bid because we saw something in him. He is. I think he ran the quickest time trial at the combine. So he's a quick guy. So not only are you're almost getting like a Darcy Moore type of player, where you can, or he can run and jump at the ball, take a really good mark, but then he has pace that he can run out of the half back line if we need him to keep going. Now, at the start of the year, I thought he'd be really down the pecking order, because you have Reef, you have Billy Frampton, you have Charlie Dean. So he would have been the fourth. But now you've got an opportunity where, if you want to start blooding these young guys just to see how they go, why not give Joel Cochran a run at it? Could you debut Joel and Charlie West in the same game against the Eagles? Maybe. I'd rather Cochran get a full game against the Eagles than come in for Carlton, right? But again, young kid, I don't know if they know, or if they think that he's ready to fully go, if he's ready to just jump straight into it. Or do they go the tried and true Charlie Dean, who has just improved tenfold? If I hear or see one person say, Brody Myercheck, let's chuck him down the back, I've been crashing out lately, right? I haven't been very good mentally. I've had I don't know what it is. But if I see or read someone say, let's just put Brody Myercheck in as a defender, that might be it. I might absolutely just crash out, like fully crash out. Brody Myercheck will not be playing. I will eat this hat if Brody Myercheck stays in the back line. I don't care if Brody Myercheck goes into the back line in the last quarter as a sort of defense cover, right? Fine. But I'm talking about full just staying there like Billy Frampton does. It's not going to happen. I will literally eat this hat. Maybe not this hat, because I like this hat too much. I'll eat another hat if Brody Myercheck is a defender. Full stop. It's not going to happen, and it might just crash me out if I see someone say that. But they're just my thoughts on what would happen if Billy Frampton is out for a few weeks. I don't think it does mess up our team chemistry a lot. What I don't want to see is Darcy Moore fall into that trap where he thinks he has to play two of those roles, like he did last year in that with Nathan Murphy gone. He was trying to play a Darcy Moore role and a Nathan Murphy role. So I don't want to see that. So as long as we don't get that, I think we'll be okay. We're very good at adapting and overcoming. We're a chameleon team. Remember that, right? We can adapt and overcome these obstacles. We might have to play a little bit lower. Darcy Moore might not be able to play his full intercept marking role and that fly-in role, even though I don't really like him as a one-on-one defender too much. But he might have to stay down a little bit more and have other people fly over the top. Use Braden Maynard in a bit more of an interesting position. Charlie Dean. So there's a few options. It's not panic stations yet. I'd rather Billy Frampton be out for 3 weeks now than 3 weeks in September. But let me know your thoughts down below. And until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.